36 years old last month. He's only got 2 years left on his contract, including this one. And if you've seen him in interviews, like I'm thinking of the 32 Thoughts one last year, or even with Corey Miller a few days ago in Nova Scotia, not that he seems like he's done, but he seems very non-committal about how much longer he's going to play in the league. It's not like Yager when he was with Dallas or Jersey or even Florida, where you could tell, like, oh, okay, this guy wants to keep playing. Now, Sid really wanted to leave the door open for, like, hey, if I want to hang him up sooner rather than later, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he looks like a player who wants to hang around till 41.
Where he spoke to Pat Brisson, who's Sidney Crosby's agent, calling him hockey's Tom Brady. And right in the tweet it says it, Crosby wants
I don't like Tom Brady.
commitment from the Penguins next summer. Through this free Hockey Feed article, you can also see that apparently Crosby's willing to take a hometown discount to make it happen. Now, at his age, I don't know what a long-term commitment would look like. Maybe, like, obviously it's not 8 years, but the cap is supposed to be going up quite a bit in the next few years. So, a $10 million contract, even $12.5 million, is not going to look the same. That's going to be like the new $10 million. So, if Crosby does take a hometown discount, a lot of people like Pittsburgh hockey now speculating it might be some kind of version of the 87, because that's what he's been doing on his contracts. So, if Crosby were to sign like 3 years at $8.7 million annually, I know that's even kind of pipe dreaming. Man, the Penguins would be so lucky for that. Honestly, I think this is the one guy, if you were to ask him, he can still be very productive as a player into his 40s. I would say Sidney Crosby, his game doesn't rely on speed or physical play or needing to have the hottest shot in the game. And he very, very quietly put up 93 points last year on a Penguins team that was bad. Now, obviously, the Penguins have to be careful not to go too long-term. I mean, I do think Sidney Crosby is the type of player who could pull a Jaromir Jagr type NHL career, but you still got to be careful, especially with how he's talking about not really wanting to play deep into his 40s. But Dubas is a smart guy. I'm sure he wouldn't go out and give 37-year-old Crosby a 5 or 6 year deal. And again, the way Crosby plays the game, he's not like McDavid, for example, where you need that blazing speed. I think that Crosby can be
Yeah. 45-year-old players, you only want to sign like a year or two on there. If he's like, let's say 30, you can sign like 5 years, but that might be risky. So I would sign, honestly, a 3-year deal for, well, it depends on the player. If it's like Sidney Crosby level, I would offer him like $1 to $4 million, let's say. But player like Hubert, I'd be like, let's say like $4 million to $8 million maybe, depending on like the cap space, and obviously that. And then you have like Austin Matthews. I would offer him from $2 million to $4 million. So there's a $2 million range that I would use.
Very effective into his 40s. So, I mean, anything under $10 million for Crosby up until he's 41, maybe 42, I think the Penguins would be lucky to get him to sign that contract. And he finishes as a Penguin. The legacy, the whole deal, probably gets another shot at the Cup, if not two. So, yeah, the Pens will be really lucky if they can make this happen. And, I mean, you see so many guys when they get up there in age where they want big money, long-term contracts where they're guaranteed to play, and they really handcuff their teams by signing those types of contracts. And I know there's going to be people saying, dude, at that age, it's not going to be lucky for the Penguins to be paying Crosby that kind of money. And for, like, 95% of the league, I would agree with you that, no, those guys should not be getting that kind of money. But Sidney Crosby is different. He always has been since... Honestly, he's been drafted before when he's playing for Rimouski. This dude is special, and his game lends itself to the Jaromir Jagr formula. Right now, I think he's still capable of getting 90 to 100 points. I think he's probably going to get 100 points here. With Carlson joining the team, they look rejuvenated, ready to go on a run. We might see a 100-point season from Crosby this year. And then deeper into his late 30s and early 40s, we might see some 60, 70-point seasons. I think he's very capable of still being a very good offensive player, even when he gets up in age. But obviously, he wouldn't be signing the contract to do that. He'd be signing that contract to go get some more Stanley Cups. And, hey, I think that they're going to get at least one more kick at the can. You guys know where I'm at. I want to turn back the clock and get one more Crosby versus Ovechkin playoff series. Please, NHL script makers, can you please make that happen at least before their careers are over? But, of course, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. And really interesting here, do you think Crosby can age like a fine wine and still get upwards of 60, 70 points into his late and early 40s, or do you think he's going to drop off a cliff? Father Time is going to eat him up like it does pretty much everybody else. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
This is a real B&H customer story. Steph Mavis came to B&H to take her photography to the next level. She's an artist by choice, pizza maker by birth, and B&H customer for life. Am I missing anything here?
Teacher, entrepreneur, product designer.
I meant to talk when I said Huberto earlier.